and welcome to Craft with Sarah and day 18 of the Christmas Craft Countdown, where I'm releasing a new Christmas craft project every day for 20 days. Today's project is something to add a little bit of pizzazz if you're gifting someone a gift card this holiday season. So we're going to make a really fun project which is going to turn your gift card into something amazing that someone is going to just go wow when they open it. So let's find out a little bit more about these gift card holders. First, you need to download the cutting file to make this project. If you aren't already signed up to the Christmas Craft Countdown, go to craftwithsarah.com/Christmas 2021 to join. If you have already purchased the countdown, go to craftwithsarah.com/login to log in to your account and access all of the Christmas Craft Countdown files. Once logged in, click into the Christmas Craft Countdown. Scroll down the page and all the files will become available on the date specified. The files do not expire, so you can download them at any time. The files for this project are under the Day 18 heading. After downloading the cutting files, you'll need to unzip the folder that they come in. If you aren't sure how to do that, check the link in the description of this video, which contains instructions on how to unzip folders on Windows computers, Macs, and Android and iPhone devices. Once you've unzipped the folder, it's time to upload the SVG file. Start a new project in Design Space and then go over to Upload on the left, and then press Upload Image. You can then either click Browse to find it on your computer or drag and drop it in. There are several different file formats available in the folder, and it's really important for Cricut Design Space that you choose the one which starts SVG in the file name. The other ones won't load properly in Design Space. So I'm going to just drag and drop my one in, and then you'll get a little preview here. And if yours looks like this with all of the layers one on top of the other, that means you've chosen the correct one. If it looks different and you see all the layers completely separate on the page, that means you've uploaded the wrong file. So if that is the case, just click Cancel down on the bottom and try again and make sure you choose the one which starts SVG. But this is looking good, so I'll press Upload. And then once that has loaded, it will appear in my recent uploads. So I can click on it to get that green border and then press Add to Canvas. Now, for some reason, this is not loading in at the correct size. So I don't know why that's happening, but it means we need to resize it so that our gift card will actually fit. To do that, go up to the width and the height box at the top. Make sure the padlock is closed, and if it isn't, just click on it to close it. And then in the width, type in 7.8 and then press Enter on your keyboard. And then the height will change automatically. So my height is now 5.383 inches. And this is now the correct size to cut out for a standard size gift card. What I would recommend doing is that when you go through and cut everything out, so I'm just going to go to the Make It screen. You've got your white card here, and this has the piece in it. This is what this one looks like, which is what the gift card's actually going to be slotted into. So what I would recommend is that you cut the white card first. So cut this mat first and just check that your gift card fits in here. And if it doesn't, then you can just click Cancel on the cut to go back to the main page and resize it either a bit smaller or bigger, depending on how your gift card didn't fit. And then try again. And that way you're not going to go through all of the different colours and cut them all out and waste all that card, only to find at the end that your gift card doesn't fit. So go ahead, get everything cut out, and then I'll show you how to put it together. Here are all my pieces cut out, and I have cheated a little bit, and I've already glued these little details to the top of the bit that pulls out, just because I was a bit worried about losing those pieces whilst moving it over to my filming area. I've also folded the big red rectangle in half just down the middle. And then before you start sticking it all together, if you haven't already, this is a good chance to actually test that your gift card will fit. So just slide it under one of the little holes, and then the other tab will fold over the other side, and then that's held in there nice and securely. Alright, let's have a little go at sticking this together. I'm going to be using glue for most of the layers, but for some of them I'm going to pop out with some 3D foam pads. The glue I'm using is called Kalau. It's a solvent-based glue, but I really like it because it doesn't bend or wrinkle the card like some other glues can do. And I put it in these needle tip bottles so that it's really easy to get in all of the tiny spaces. I'm going to start with the actual gift card holder. And for this, you could either use glue or you could use double-sided tape. It's up to you. I'm going to use some glue, which just means that I'll need to make sure it's completely dry before I start putting the gift card in, otherwise it might come undone. So I folded this one in half, and then what I'm going to do is line this up inside so that the top of the mantelpiece lines up against the top of the red, and that's where that's going to fit once it's all put together. So now I know where I can put the glue. So I need to put some glue down this bit and down this bit, but don't put any glue where the actual gift card section is going to go. So just a little bit right down the edge there, and then down that side as well. Now I'm going to push it down. And by actually gluing it with the gift card in there, or at least the piece of card in the middle, if you've not got your gift card yet, it means you get a little bit of give when you fold the red bit over, which just means that it's easier to get that gift card in and out. Okay, so just going to push that down. I'm going to pull it out now so I don't accidentally get any glue on it. You see I've smushed my glue out over here, but that won't show up by the time we're done. Okay. Making sure that's all nicely pushed down. Alright, so now we can start adding the different layers. And I'm just going to give that a couple of extra seconds. So whilst that's drying, I'll stick my stockings together. And you could leave the stockings out if you wanted to, or you could use just one of them, but I'm going to put both of them on. So I just need a little bit of glue on the back of the top layer. There we go. Okay, so this white panel that you've got is to write your message on. So you could get the Cricut to write it if you want to, but I'm just going to stick mine on the back. So I'll turn it upside down and add my glue. And then stick this on the back. If you already know who this is going to, it would be easier to write your message before you stick it on. Because then you've got the nice flat piece of card. That's that one. Turn it around the right way again, and I'm going to glue this piece of the fireplace on top, and this creates that pretty brickwork pattern. Make sure you don't get any glue over the gaps, otherwise that'll go on your work surface. This is why I like these needle tip bottles, because you can be really accurate with them. There we go. And then I'll just glue that on top. That's going to hide all of those glue smushes that I did earlier. There we are. Alright, next we have the surround, which is going to go down here. And I think I might add a little bit of foam pads on this one to make it stand out a bit more. So I'll turn it upside down. And here are my foam pads. Now my foam pads are really small, so I think they're going to fit in here nicely. If yours were a bit bigger, then you can cut them with a pair of scissors. You want to make sure you've got a good amount around all of the sides. Otherwise, if you've got really big areas with empty space without any foam, then the cardstock can sort of sag in those spaces and bend downwards, and it just won't quite look as good. I'm going to peel off the tops of these foam pads to get all of the stickiness showing. And then line that up and stick it down. Okay. Next we have the fire, the flames, and again I use foam, so turn the bigger piece upside down. I'm a bit finger and thumbs today. My hands are really cold. It's quite chilly in the office today, so my fingers aren't quite working as they should. Tuck that one on there. And then for the little piece on top, you could either glue it or foam it. I'm going to glue it. Otherwise it might look like that fire is escaping. Put it in that little top area. There we go. All right, so if you hadn't have done this at this point, it would be time to glue the holly and the clock to the top of here. And then the next thing to do is to stick this over, and it just hides the bottom and neatens it up. And I'm going to use foam for this because it will give it more for someone to grip when they are trying to pull out the gift tag. So again, I want a nice amount on here, especially because someone's actually going to be pulling this, so we want to make sure that it doesn't come apart by mistake. Glue that on top. Not glue, foam. You know what I mean. And now I'm going to just put this in here so that I can see where I want my stockings to go. And that's just going to nicely slide in. And now you can kind of see how it works. So it will push in up to the point where the top of the mantelpiece goes, but it doesn't go any further because of these bits on the edge. And it just nicely fits in, and then it's easy to pull in and out. Okay. So I'm just going to push it in all the way so it's level. There we are. And then my stockings, I'm going to use some foam on these, and I'll put them along here. Now, because I've already used foam on the surround piece, I don't want to put any foam pads on my stockings where it's going to just overlap, otherwise it won't sit evenly. Let's move it along a bit. There, so you want to make sure your foam only touches the red parts and not any of this white, and definitely not the bit that pulls out. Otherwise it won't pull out anymore because you'll have stuck it to the red. Okay, here's my second stocking. There we are. And that is my lovely little gift card holder, all finished. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make gift card holders with your cutting machine. Don't forget to get the files, go to craftwithsarah.com/Christmas 2021. I'll be back again tomorrow with another craft project, but until then, thank you for watching. Bye!